What's up, YouTube citizens? This your boy Dash with Tru Inferno. Back with another beat making video. It's been a minute since I came out with one of these. You know, working on that Call of Duty commentary, working on some beats, working on some websites, getting my portfolio up. Been through some personal stuff. This has not been good, but you know, it's almost 100% out of the way. There's just some stuff I gotta take care of dealing with that. But you know, got some projects coming up. Working on my beat album. You know, I'm still gonna come out with it. It's gonna still be called The Next Renaissance Man. You know, but the whole thing is different. I switch it up. But I got some beats for y'all to showcase for YouTube, to showcase on my personal website, tru-inferno.co.nr. Check that out. You know, so with that said, let's get to the first beat. Let's do it. Alright, so here we go with this beat. Now for the record, this is not sampled. This is all loops, so this is all done by me. You know, no samples or anything like that. So let's get started with the main ingredient of this beat, which is really track 5 and track 4. And then of course track 3, the layers in track 3, or the loop in track 3 I should say, will become incorporated into it. So let's listen to track 4 and 5 though together. Now, let me dissect this real quick. Track 4 is the boom, the power of that boom, boom, boom. Whereas track 5, on the other hand, is that's what that is. Now, let's go into these tracks. Now, as you can see, the pitch is different. So let me play the originally. It sounds okay, but you know, one tones is good. Same thing with the boom. Hear how it sounds originally. Again, one sounds better. It leaves more of an impact like that. Now let's go into track 3, where the third ingredient, you know, the third loop that makes up the main ingredient of this beat comes in. Keep in mind, the layers in track 5 really makes it, but the layers in track 4, why I keep calling them layers? Loops. The loops in track 4 adds that power to it. Where track 3 is just strings. And again, +1 tones. Now, before we get to the loops in track 1 and 2, it really makes up the loops and the second half of certain verses. Let's get to the drums real quick. As you can see in track 6, this is our bass right here, the bass drum right here. And the tempo, the pitch I left alone. Oh, the tempo for all these loops are at 200, whereas the BPM of the whole thing is at 100. So this is one of those fast tempos beats that I love so much. Alright, so that's the 808 kick. Let's go over the regular kick. So, let's listen to them together. That sounds amazing. And then of course we got the snare. Now keep in mind the snare, because the majority of the loops came together, but I didn't like the snare, so I used a different snare. Simple. Now the hi-hats is all over the place, so I love it like that. And then of course we got the open hat here. Now, if you notice, I added something here. So let's ungroup this real quick. Because here's how it originally looks. There's nothing here. So if we was to hear this as is, it sounds stupid like that. D. No. Normally it goes D. That's how you normally hear it. So that's why I added the extra open hat right here. So we're gonna move that back up here. Now we're gonna play with the snare. Alright, so there you go. Now the leading percussions into a hook or a verse is right here. We start with the word block right here. So let's actually move it right here actually. That's basically it. But then we combine it with this snare roll right here. So let's combine them two. You know. And then of course we got that DJ Clue wannabe sound right here. Combined with the crash. And the crash will continue over throughout the hook and on certain parts of the verse. So now finally, let's get, speaking of which, now let's get into the actual hook. So we start with this right here in track 1. We got that pad right there, that passive. And as you can see, +1 tones. But also, I know I played around with this too, so I lowered the this part down as well, but not by much. It's no big deal. So, well, actually, no, it shouldn't be like that. Whatever. Not by much. Like I said, not by much. No big deal. Now we go to the synth. This is a synth bass right here. Again, +1 tones. And this is used periodically over the verses. So verse 1, I didn't use either one of these. Verse 2, or the second half of verse 2, I used that synth bass. And then the second half of verse 3, I used the pad. So let's listen to the beat. Feisty bear in his joints. Not the plan. Okay, here come that DJ Clue noise. That sounds nice. Now, normally when I make a beat fully of loops, I sometimes like to chop it up and mix it around, but this sounds fine exactly how it is, with the exception of the snare and that open hat. And as you can see, I didn't use the hi-hat throughout. I only use it on certain, like on the hook and on the second half of verses. Or sometimes switch it up and like use it on the first half of a verse, but not on the second half. As you see, the hi-hat came in. Now, we're gonna fast forward to the second half of verse 2. As you can see, her that snare roll and that word block. She go into the second half of verse 2, which was not the case. And the drums, you know, I just played around with a little bit. Now then, we're gonna go into the second half of verse 3. Again, there's no snare roll and no word block here. And you hear that pad going off. And that's basically the whole beat right there. The beat is amazing. Tru Inferno, L.I.F.E production. Look out for these beats. Look out for beat making. Coming soon. Coming back. Peace.